Hello, my name is Osmorn, and this is my submission for ENA Dream Barbecue into SGDQ 2025. I think this is an absolutely amazing speedrun, a very wonderful contender for the silly block, but of course, I will let you be the judge. This is a game where we play as the titular character ENA. As we go through this world, we have to find the boss. That is like the name of the ultimate encounter in this game, the boss. And in this first episode, this is just chapter 1. We are tasked with getting rid of the smoke that inhibits us from getting to the boss. So this is the current first chapter. This is an episodic series, and so this is a complete speedrun of the first chapter following the route called Purge event. There's 2 routes that the player can take in this speedrun, and this is one of them. Of course, there's the other one known as Ascension, and that is, of course, the other video that I'm going to be making. But first, we're going to be going straight into the Purge event speedrun right here. Timing will begin once we enter this new file. We do have a specific file that we use in order to have the same seed every single time for all of our speedruns, and so that's very, very important to take note of, because there's 2 specific cases of RNG that will be affected depending on the seed that we use. There is some stuff that isn't affected based on the seed that we use, but there is 2 seeds, 2 parts of the speedrun that are affected, and then so it's kind of been accepted by the community in order to use a specific seed for the speedrun. And so time is going to begin once we skip here. 3, go. Wonderful. All right. Now, after this, we wake up directly in a dream sequence, us being ENA. You're going to see me jumping a lot here. Jumping is slightly faster than just walking, so you're going to see me do that whenever I possibly can. And one thing that you see here, we do have an acceptable rebind to make skipping cutscenes a lot easier. It's not anything like a macro, it's just purely like rebinding it to 2 closer keys. And so right here, we're going to be coming over here into the hub. The hub is this very surreal place where we are tasked with for getting rid of all of the smoke in the land in order to find the boss. So this job is started. We immediately go out of bounds. We crouched into that small little corner and rub up against the wall in order to clip out of bounds at a very specific angle using a setup that we used. And that leads us directly into the Uncanny Valley. Now, the Uncanny Valley is not where we need to go, but we need to find the taxi driver, and the taxi driver's head is the thing that we're going to be catching here first. The taxi driver's head is one of the things that is affected by RNG in this game, hence why we use a specific seed. And so the taxi driver's head can be anywhere within his own body, depending on the seed that you were on. And so this is one place that we have a set seed for, and that allows for the taxi driver's head to be there the exact same spot every single time. But now we have the taxi driver's head that was stuck inside of his own body, and as you can see there, he is ready to take us wherever we need him to take us. You want to be very careful not to activate any cutscenes, because if you get too close to characters in this game, you can accidentally activate certain cutscenes. So now we're going to take the taxi driver, and he's going to carry us in what I assume to only be his arms. I've never seen arms that look like that. Believe it to be what you want it to. But he's going to take us directly to a club that we're going to be going to in a planet that's right above where we are right now. But you can skip this cutscene about halfway through, and we're going to be doing a nice little skip here that involves activating a trigger right there that deloads a cutscene that would have played otherwise if we walked into this area. And that cutscene would have started right here. Of course, it wouldn't play because we deloaded that area by activating a specific trigger. That's why we jumped off of the taxi. And thankfully, that's a much easier way of going about it than you would think. And so right here, we're going straight to the club, and we're going to be skipping 2 cutscenes here. Once we get this call, we're just going to be skipping it the moment that they answer the phone. And we're just going to skip getting tickets into the club right here. And now we're in the club. Now this is presented as if it was a maze, but it is consistent every single time, even if you are on a different seed. This specific area is consistent every single time, no matter what. And so we just kind of memorize the pattern and go straight to it. As you can see, there's a lot of people here, including these little jelly figures, which I think are like my favorite parts of this game. And so after that, the entire club fills up with Pepto-Bismol. I like to play a little game here, being how far can you go before you get engulfed by the horrors, and the absolute horrors that be. The answer is not very far, because you get your jump disabled and your movement speed disabled the moment that, like, the floor starts to get filled with this Pepto-Bismol. And so after that, we're just going to skip the small cutscene, and suddenly We are now in third person mode, where we are this dog in a maze of dogs. This is the other part of the run that we are allowed to, that is the reason why we play on a specific seed, and that's because this part of the run would be RNG every single time, no matter what, and so traversing your way around the maze would be very annoying, and we are simply just using a seed so we can have that specific pattern every single time, right, left, right, left, right, and so that's very, very useful for the speedrun. And so you can pause during this cutscene that's playing right now, but you cannot skip it for some reason, and so we just let it play out because we have no other choice. And so now we're at the core. The core is where we're going to be finding the boss that is behind, or like we're going to be first introduced to the boss, I should say, but we need to get to there. The bathroom right here, and that is where we're gonna find the person who will help us turn off the smoke machine that has been putting smoke all through the land, and that allow us to get to the boss. As you can see here, we're going to be playing a little bit of Frogger with these bamboo boards that are on this river here. Now, you do need to be careful because of course, this like effect is happening where it can make you dizzy and like really hard, and when you fall into the river. But also, that part of the run is always RNG, no matter what seed you're on. There's not really a part of the run you can affect. And once we're getting closer to the bathroom, you can see that it's actually not that big. And so we're going to be talking to one last person here at the end that will take us to where we can turn off the smoke machine. And so we're going to go right here. You have to go through 2 dialogue options and then go immediately into the option that says aspire to get rid of the smoke. And so that's what we're going to be doing here. Perfect. Wonderful. And then we go down, and now we're going to try to take rid of the smoke. All it takes is a place and the right food. I'm sure that will make sense soon. And so, with that being said, we're going to be going straight into this next area. The run is almost over, if you could believe such a thing. We're going to be going straight here, and this is how we're going to be turning off the smoke. Literally just like waving the fan all around. We're going to spam E to wave the fan and have this person turn off the smoke for us. And so that's all there is to that. Now it's probably a solid time for like a donation or two. But of course, we're going to keep on keeping on. We're very, very close to the end of the run here. We have 2 small segments to go through. First off, we got to exit the bathroom. First off through here, and then we're back into the same dojo area that the club was in, but now it's a little bit different because the smoke is gone. And so we get one more call. We're going to skip it. You can walk while you are having this call, but while you're in the call, your movement speed will be slowed down. You cannot shift to run anymore, and so that's something you want to like get rid of as soon as possible. We're about 1 minute out from the run. We need to get out of the maze and back into what used to be the Uncanny Valley before the smoke disappeared. And now we're going to be traveling towards the Lonely Door. And unfortunately, spoiler alert, ENA does get trapped in the Lonely Door after this run ends. And so that's where we're going to be going straight to. And so yeah, this run is absolutely amazing. You're going to be seeing me do small little bunny hops here because in this area, it is a little bit faster to do that than normal running. But I only use it in specific areas that have like wide open spaces like this, because otherwise it can be really easy to lose time for it. And it can be a little bit inconsistent if you're not quite practiced at it. And so, timing will end once we open the Lonely Door, and then we're going to get entrapped into the Lonely Door. Okay, we're going to talk to this guy to open it. And now, timing will end in 3, 2, 1, time. Alright, and that is the Purge event route for ENA Dream Barbecue. Now, in my opinion, this is a bit of a harder route, despite the fact that the Ascension route is a little bit longer. This particular route is, in my opinion, harder because it has a few more tricks that are, I mean, it has a few more tricks that are like a little bit harder in execution. I think the Ascension route does have a good amount of tricks, and arguably maybe a little bit like 1 or 2 more than the route otherwise would have, than this route otherwise would have. But I mean, to make sure that, you know, a lot more goes right in the Purge event, I would say. But yeah, that is all for me. I hope that you enjoyed the absolute mess that this is. Mess in a very positive sense, because I absolutely love this game, and this was an absolutely amazing speedrun to learn. But yeah, that is it for me. I've been Osborne, and if you haven't watched my Ascension video yet, go watch that, because you're going to get a bit of idea of how that route works if you want to turn it into either a bid war or a category upgrade, because of course the Ascension route is a little bit higher, or a little bit faster, longer I should say. But anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.